Hey guys, this is Dartamos with Dartamos Dominions. I'm in with the crowd from last episode and another guest. Say hi, GC.
Howdy.
Now, do you want me to call you GC or General Confusion?
Either works.
Okay, excellent.
I've been called worse.
Grippa, speaking of calling somebody by worse names,
damn it!
How are you doing?
I was doing well, now I'm not.
Mandar, my good-looking friend, how are you doing?
Doing well, thanks for having me.
RCK, dude, how's it going?
Good.
Now, we are getting to the end, and we have, GC, you missed a bunch of turns, because we're finally just rolling through these turns, and we have 3 people that are in position to win this game. And this game is ending within the next about 5 to 10 turns. So the question is, who is going to go for the throne rush and who is going to be successful at getting it? And I see a throne battle, or at least a ping. So we're going to go over this really quick. And
so just to let you know, I'm, at least on my screen, I'm seeing that you've minimized your application and your stream is paused.
Yeah,
oh,
stream is
no.
paused.
Yeah, I see that too. There we go.
Tell me that a moment, because I'm putting OBS up, and if I minimize it, it pauses it for you guys. Okay, does that sound good? We're good?
Okay, yeah, now I see.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, be loud and strong about that, because I screw up. I'm not like GC level YouTubing yet.
I could tell you stories.
I saw that you're doing streaming now.
Yes, yeah, I've been streaming intermittently for a while, but I'm trying to do it weekly.
Dude, I love watching it. It's really awesome. What's that, RCK?
Yes, I've been watching as well.
Oh God, all of my failures broadcast to the world.
Dude, that's
you're
like
talking
the fun
about
part.
the Battle Brothers or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the episode where I lost 4 times in one stream.
Oof.
Dude,
Anyways.
dude, it's Battle Brothers. We relate.
Yes,
I've never played Battle Brothers, I can't relate.
Trust me, the first time that you play it, you'll relate.
All right, so what are we looking at here?
Grippa, dude, you went wild and you're actually being aggressive. You didn't even ping this throne. You just I went in.
I needed it.
Grippa, did somebody else play your turn? Be honest.
Yeah, I gave it the sack. He's like, you're being a coward again, just do this.
Look, I've been doing these episodes. I've seen what you do, Grippa. Give me your password. Okay, so nothing, the end of Vanheim, nothing, and we got a big battle between Pan and Marignan.
At long last. Oh, I can't wait to watch that. That and the throne battle. This is a good turn. I'm excited.
Okay,
Well, I mean,
what's it? Go for it.
I was just saying, this battle is just a massacre by the sheer weight of numbers.
Do you ever, GC? Let's go into this because it is sheer numbers, but this is Dominions. Sometimes numbers don't matter. Would you go blind into a throne?
If I had that army, sure. Because so there's 2 parts of that. So first of all, this is a throne, not a player. So you're going up against indies. Even if they have mages with gems, indies suck at using gems. Like, the worst they're going to do is summon, 2 elementals and then spend 20 rounds casting personal buffs. Secondly, when he has, I noticed, 18 Sorrowmancers in this army. Which means, also he has a Holy Four Prophet, so, okay.
Balin is a bad teacher?
Oh, you just noticed that?
So what I'm saying basically is this army is a huge pile of guys that are going to stand in the way, and they're Falchineers, so they'll kill things. And then there's 18 guys that I bet, and I'm just going to make this bet right now, that I bet are going to shit out 1 million skeletons.
Well, let's push forward and see what happens. Well, there you go, right there. Horde of skeletons.
That was a pretty safe bet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this battle is just going to be like the indies are going to kill some stuff, and then they will be drowned under a wave of bones.
That was the goal.
So what do we have here? We have Howl. Ooh, Rigor Mortis. I don't know if I would have cast Rigor in this battle and Relief, not Foul Vapors. Where's Foul Vapors?
The person who was the cast Foul Vapors was a province away.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, and I was like, do I want to wait a turn or not? But I didn't know what Celeria was up to with his shenanigans, so I was like, let's just go for it.
Yeah, I think you made a good call then.
And I'm curious as to... Okay, so these guys are just about fatigued out. These guys are absolutely fatigued out. Will Relief... Mandar, will Relief eventually counteract Rigor, or are these guys gone for good?
Those guys are basically gone for good. Rigor is more powerful than Relief. But what Relief does is it slows down Rigor enough that you have the advantage. Of course, there will be random variations enough that every once in a while your guys will wake up and do a thing. But mostly they're going to be in a coma.
Do we see any chance of, because the Rigor Mortis is down and they're done casting skeletons, I don't see a whole lot of skeletons, and I see a lot of wolves coming in around the side. Is there any way that this could go wrong?
No.
Like everybody falling asleep?
Even if everybody fell asleep, this is still a win for Satis.
Okay. Okay,
that was actually like way more commitment than that throne necessarily needed.
It's what I had in the area. I just threw it at him.
I mean, valid.
Do you think that it was a bad play?
No, I mean, if you're gonna go into a throne, you should make sure you're going to win. So if he had the troops there and he didn't have something else really important for them to do, yeah, absolutely, roll them all in.
To follow up on this, Grippa, what are you going to do with this army next?
My next goal was to march down south to take that throne. That's 3 provinces down there.
Okay, so you're gonna start taking thrones and possibly go for the rush. Okay. Who is your next military target?
I was then going to actually hit the throne that Ermor had there, and finally actually hit Ermor and get that damn thing over with.
Okay, and then that would give you 1, 2, 3, game over. Okay.
Yes.
What was the other one that we wanted to look? Oh, that's why he was on top of the throne or on top of the fort, and he finally cracked it.
I'm sorry, was that commander called Anti-Human Prejudice Squad?
Yeah,
I
believe it was.
Where do you see this?
It's in the army list. Anti-Human Prejudice Squad leader. Good play.
Divine blessing.
For those of you out there in TV land, renaming your commanders is very important. It gives you the edge. It's like painting stripes on your car. It makes it go faster.
How often do you do it?
Depends on how committed I am to the game. For a high-effort game like Hubris is a Coward's Sword, I'm renaming all of my important commanders.
Okay, just the important ones, not every single one. RCK, how often do you rename?
Usually, the only ones I rename are my prophets.
GC, who do you rename?
I rename my prophet, and then I typically rename thugs that my enemy is going to be seeing a lot. And if I feel especially clever, I'll rename somebody. But in my experience, renaming someone in an army that I feel really good about is just asking to get wiped.
I think it actually is the opposite of racing stripes. I think it's, instead of racing stripes, it's a giant target.
It's like raising your middle finger to the gods.
Yeah. Lightning strike here.
That's only if you expect the name to last. I mean, attaching a name to someone is asking for them to die, but it's just the coolness factor makes up for it. It's a sacrifice to the gods, I would say.
Now, as I said last time I was on this stream, the one thing that you are absolutely required to rename besides your prophet is lumber constructs.
Oh, yes. Yes, and you have to thug them out. These are the rules. It's another sacrifice to the gods.
It's like, I didn't make the rules.
Game I made on my prophet.
There you go. See? He knows what's up.
Okay, like, I've never heard this before. Is this on other servers, or is this, like, in a crowd, or is this, like, just generally known as Dominions, and I'm out of the loop?
It's just kind of known. It's like, because
it is known.
The background to this is the background of this, for anyone who doesn't know, is a lumber construct is a summon that generates this troop that is a giant and is pretty shit. Bad stats, HP, moderate prot. It's not very good. But there's a random event, and I don't even remember what exactly the requirements for it is. There's a random event that gives you a lumber construct that is a commander, and it's still not good. And I don't know how this started, but the tradition is if you get a random lumber construct commander for no reason, like the event also gives you some like lowers unrest or something. So you take this lumber construct commander and you give him some terrible jokey name and you pile all the equipment you can on him and just send him out to attack someone.
Like Nosy, who's a decent, like a really good player in my opinion, put something like 50 gems worth of equipment on this lumber construct and had him going around trying to get him killed, I swear.
Yes.
And he kept it, he would never die.
Yep.
The last time I had a lumber construct, I put on, like, Armor of Knights, 2 Swords of Swiftness, Boots of Quickness, Belt of Giant Strength, and an Iron Face.
Like, we're criticizing an Air 1 N1 mage with, like, 40 gems of stuff, and we're putting hundreds of gems on a lumber construct.
Yeah, for reference, for anyone who doesn't know, lumber constructs, even as commanders, are mindless, have attack, I think it's 7, no magic whatsoever, and combat speed, 6, 8, something like that.
Nothing.
They're bad.
Yeah,
That's all I need.
Their defense skill is trash. Are they inanimate so they can't regenerate? I'm pretty sure that you can't make them regenerate.
Yes, they're constructs, they're mindless. I mean, they're immune to, like, Mind Blast.
That's all you got going for you. You can't mind
That's for, like,
there we go. That makes them overpowered.
Anyway, sorry to derail.
No, it's vital stuff we all need to know about.
It is
Absolutely.
vital. It is vital.
I think stuff like that's what makes Dominions fun. I remember the first guy that told me about Dominion was telling about how he twice born, but he also sold the soul of his necromancer commander. And like he's telling me all these cool stories, and within Dominions, like you can kind of get lost in that within your turn. Like there's such a cool story going on that you could tell in all of your games, and it kind of gets lost sometimes within the competitiveness of the game.
It's true, and that's a shame.
Have you guys ever joined any of the role-playing games before?
Yeah, I played in Hellenica Iliad, and I will be playing in the upcoming Hellenica 1001 Nights, Arabian Nights, something like that.
How was that game?
They're not what you would hope. They're good.
That is so disappointing.
This is
like no screenshots of cosplays?
No. It's sad. It's a lot of work. Dominions in general is a lot of work, and we've talked before about, real life morale, how it's kind of exhausting. Stone Troll is on record describing Dominions as a disappointment management simulator. And when you add in all the extra work of doing role-playing too, it's a lot. It's a lot.
I'll be honest, if I ever joined a role-playing game, I would just be role-playing as Dread Emperor Traitorous. And my
Trollheim game was practically role-playing as just
my entire goal would just be to backstab everyone.
Now, there was somebody who played, was it Marcus Aurelius, who used to do a lot of the role-playing and put, like absurd amounts of effort into his games?
I believe he did.
Like, those were amazing to me, and they were so interesting to watch, and that dude put in so much effort, and losing him, because I think I don't know, he got burned out or something like that, but it was a real shame, because he put a lot of role-playing and, like, had stories behind it and everything, and it was really cool.
I really loved watching his Dwarf Fortress videos, because I'm a big fan of Dwarf Fortress. But I do think over the last year or two, he stopped posting videos.
And I think we lose something, like, when we get super competitive, we lose some of the story behind the game. But, like, doing some of this Omniscience, it kind of makes its own stories with, like, the watching some of the dynamics between players. In trying to roll this back, GC, if you had stacks like this, where you have this stack, and this stack, would they be would you be ready to go on to Marignon's cap?
Okay, so here's the thing about those stacks. Those stacks are like, I would be willing to guess probably 70 or 80% at least Maenads. And Maenads are naked, they have no armor, and their stats are not good. So basically, what Pangea has this effect where they can generate these huge, really scary-looking armies, but they're not actually very useful offensively, because, like, if that big stack that's in that fort next to Marignon's capital rolls on to Marignon's capital, Marignon will cast a spell, like Fire Elementals, or Firestorm, or Flaming Arrows, or any of those other spells that fire mages can cast, and all those Maenads will burn to death. So Maenads are really only good at three things. They're good at fighting independents, they're good at holding up forts, and they're not good at holding up forts, I don't think. I think they have a penalty. And they're good at attacking other people's forts. So they can break down walls, but you don't actually want to take them into a big fight, because if Marignon casts, say, Firestorm, and they all die, the rest of your army will HP route.
I played with them once, and interestingly enough, I was using them offensively. However, I went solidly down alteration. So I mean, like, they were, by the end of it, you saw their little unit chart, and it just had buff. But
if you can stack 1 million buffs on them, then they work great. But like, so for example, if you're Marignon and you're next to Pangea, what you can do about this to stop that from working is you can just research Enchantment 4 and spam 1 million crossbowmen, because you get crossbowmen, or just independent archers, because they have twice the fire rate. Because ranged units with flaming arrows absolutely dumpster Maenads, just in huge numbers. And by the time you have Enchantment 4, Pangea doesn't have all those buffs active, because it's too early in the game.
Mandar, would you just say, you know, what is it? Damn the Cannons charge?
It's damn the torpedoes full speed ahead. Thank you very much.
That's it. Thank you, dude.
That was one of my god names for my pan build with the 74 combat speed.
Nice.
Speaking of lumber constructs, I was thinking lumber construct with a with what's the thing that makes it sacred?
Oh, Shroud of the Battle Saint.
Yes, with your go fast. I'm sorry.
That would be funny. Just like turbo speed, give him boots of quickness too.
Yes, quickness bless, boots of quickness, double swords of swiftness.
Ooh, what about
8 attacks? Horned helmet and chi. You can't have chi shoes, but you can have the horned helmet too.
What if we give him a pair of copper arms and then 2 sets of gloves of the gladiator?
Now you're thinking with portals.
Now I'm thinking with portals.
But now, hold on, because the gloves of the gladiator, they get 4 attacks, but all 4 attacks have to target the same person. So he doesn't punch 4 people, he punches 1 person 4 times.
Yes, but they come with an MR bonus and a strength bonus, so he's punching really hard.
That's true. If you wanted to send out somebody to full-on Joestar 1 thug, that's how you do it.
that you get style points.
You just have to name Ora.
Yes.
I'm going to do that now and again.
I get a lumber construct.
Damn the halberdiers, full speed ahead. What do you think, Mandar?
Just like suiciding a whole pile of Maenads into Marignon?
It's not really suiciding, because you still have the white centaurs and the flanks doing the damage, but if you retreat, there's a good chance that you're going to survive. Even if they do it stupidly, you're still looking at more than 50% chance of not dying.
I don't know. You're going to have real HP route issues. You're going to fracture your army. You might be better off. It's a tough one. I have difficulties using Maenads to actually crack forts without HP route issues. I'm not enough of a pan player to know the solution to this problem.
Excellent. Okay, so let's move on to the next turn. Turn 45. Oh my goodness. There are a couple more turns that are not shown here, at least one or two, I think. But Satis, let's have you read.
Oh God. Is there a better, more sordid romance than me and the Throne of Death? Oh, 5 death gems, you always hurt so good. Except for EA Asphodel. You really suck there.
Okay, so what happened with EA Asphodel now that I think I hear... Oh, I thought that was Novell. Speaking of Novell, what exactly happened with your EA Asphodel?
So, Novell loves his Death Nations, and I created a build for EA Pan that was 74 combat speed White Centaurs. Now, this was my first Blitz ever, and the previous Blitz ended on turn 45. So me, making assumptions that I had no right making, assumed Cataclysm would be on turn 45. So I would growth neutral, because I'm like, growth really pays off in the late game. We ain't getting that late. Here we go. Well, I had a power outage before the game started, and Novell subbed in for me for like about the first 25 turns. This guy loves his death gems. He brought my White Centaurs and captured the Throne of Death and immediately claimed it. So I became a death scale Pan, and I basically had to cosplay as Asphodel for the rest of the game because I literally had all my provinces dying. It was awful.
That's the best.
So you took like growth neutral. How often do you take growth neutral, RCK?
Almost never, really.
Why not?
I just like growth and production, to be honest.
Now, say theoretically that you've taken growth 1 or growth 2. GC, do you still claim the Throne of Death?
It depends on what nation I am. Like, if I'm a nation that has death mages, yes, absolutely, because death gem income is fantastic. If I don't have native death mages, probably I hold off.
You jumped right on it, dude. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. Okay,
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. The Throne of Fortune that's yours, right, RCK?
I believe so.
Okay.
That was the one in Alms Providence.
So we're having thrones getting claimed as we're coming to an end, and so far we've gotten Satis and Scolaria are both claiming thrones. We have a boring attack. We have a boring attack, although it was a PD dump. But of note, you're attacking Airmore. Didn't you have a nap with Airmore?
Was that a bump?
Yeah, that's not a PD dump. That's 2 battles in the same province.
Oh, good catch. Okay.
Mm.
We have the end of Ulm and the end of Ulm. And speaking of the end of Ulm, it is officially the end of Ulm. And since we don't have a whole lot to talk about, other than I want to do the potential throne situation at the end, I want to ask about finishing somebody off. When you have a player that has gone AI, in this situation, I don't know if he went AI, but he possibly might have. And he's got like 1 or 2 forts left or 1 or 2 provinces left. How important is it to actually finish the person off? And I'm going to send this to Mandar.
You can press F4 to see if he's gone AI yet, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, he was defeated, so...
Yeah.
But, Ashdod still has their underwater province along with the temple.
Yep.
Ashdod stands. Ashdod has outlasted Ulm. As for finishing people off, how important is it? Not super important. They can still be a big pain in the rear, but it's not like urgent. I have been known to get into wars with new people before finishing off the last person I killed.
GC, why is it okay to leave guys still alive, and why would you want to finish them off?
Okay, so basically, taking someone's fort, if they've pulled all their stuff back into it and are just like sitting there, is a pain in the ass, and often you don't really need to do it. So especially if they've gone AI, if somebody goes AI, yes, the AI gets a whole bunch of like resource and gold bonuses so they can build stuff, but the AI is really bad at playing Dominions. So the worst that they're going to do is send out random armies of trash that you can handle pretty easily. If they haven't gone AI, but they're just hitting end turn or letting the turn tick while they're sitting in their fort with their giant pile of stuff, then they're not doing anything. They're not a threat. Yes, you want to finish them off and get their gem income and gold income and whatever, and their fort, because forts are nice. But if you have something more important to do, then you can go ahead and do it. As an example, I'm in a game right now, which actually I'm losing badly now, but this was a wave before that, where I playing as, it's a Disciples game, and I playing as Rus with my allies attacked another team, and I overran a lot of Fomorian territory very quickly, and then I spent like 20 turns kind of fucking around, including starting another war with a team of elves, before actually taking Fomoria's capital. Like, I attacked Fomoria on turn 10 or 9 or something, and I only took their capital on turn 20-something. Because I had other things to spend my effort on.
And did they go AI?
I don't think they ever technically went AI.
Okay. I have a lot of respect for people, and I don't, I understand if they go AI, but take, for instance, if Pan jumps onto Mary's cap, destroys the army, and Pan stays around with a few troops inside, or doesn't even come out and just says, I'm gonna take my last stand, I want to see the last fight. Like, I really respect players that can sit around, check every single turn, and say, I'm gonna watch that last fight. Just massive respect for it. What do you usually do? Let's go with Grippa. If you're at the end, let's say that you're Marignan, Pan puts this gigantic pile of troops onto your cap. Do you sit to the very end, or do you say like, next game?
So I am known for two things in this entire Discord channel, which is both new casting and the Pan game. And in both cases, I ended up with pretty much just my capital. I am known for just sitting there as my capital for 35 turns, not being killed off because I know how to make people pay when I do it. So, hell yeah, I sit there and I play the damn turns that take 5 minutes when I have just my capital, waiting for that sweet chance to burn someone with me.
Mandar, what's your thoughts? Do you stay to the end?
Yeah, I mean, as Grippa said, it's nice to screw people over who screw you. And also the turns don't take very long when you're just sort of sitting there huddled in your capital with a stack of dudes to mess people up. It's fun.
RCK, what's your thoughts?
I will stay in it. I'm currently in one of the GC games, Sleep is for the Weak, and I got beat down to like three or four proxies playing as Zarmatia. And at this point, I got somebody to join in the war against who I was fighting. So not only have I pushed out, but I was able to take some more castles. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to stick to it.
But you don't. Do you think you actually have a chance of winning it all?
Probably not, but because I mean, I feel like I tried to take a throne. I lost almost my entire standing army, and then I was attacked, and I barely have had anything left. I'm pretty much fighting at this point with just my mages and horde of skeletons, which I've researched, and that's really it.
Who needs troops? Horde of skeletons is all the troops you need.
GC, you're picking up the last one on this one. What are your thoughts? Do you go AI or do you not go AI?
Okay, so if I am reduced to the point where I know that there's no chance of me winning the game, I am much more likely to gather all of my mages and then go die historic on the Fury Road and just march out and attack someone.
I was starting to feel lonely, dude. Not gonna lie.
I mean, like, still one of what, in my opinion, the most fun games on my channel, not to plug myself here, but was
do it, dude.
The first multiplayer game I ever played. Once More Into the Breach, I think it was called, where I was playing as EA Machaca, and I actually did really well for most of the game, and then I got into a late game war with Althea and got fucking steamrolled, because Althea is way better at this game than I am. And
who was she playing?
She was playing as Hinnom.
When was this? I have never seen her play a game.
This was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So what I did was, I pulled... At first I cast Burden of Time. just to be a bitch about it. Then I pulled all of my guys back to my capital. I summoned Antrax and gave him a black heart and a shade mail to make him an assassin.
Oh my god.
And then I marched out with like all of my mages and 400 pygmies. And I attacked Althea's field army and I got absolutely destroyed. I killed like 20 guys. And Antrax got patrolled out, which was the real tragedy.
Oh.
I remember that was one of the first games I got to watch, and that was even though, because I mean, a lot of players put their, a lot of YouTubers put the games that they win on, and not the ones and it's for me, it's a motivation. Whenever I lose games, I don't want to go through and review those turns, but you going to the very end, and I remember you even did an after action, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I did an after action video where I got Althea and Kronos, who was playing and a couple of the other players together. We all talked about it.
I absolutely loved how you followed through with that, even though you didn't win, because you had a throne rush and you came close to winning at one point.
Yes, I launched my throne rush and I was doing okay, but that was what brought Althea in against me, and she just fucking broke me, man. It was brutal.
I always remember, I think we all have that moment where like we're playing and it's the first time that you start seeing all the little circles come on top and you're just like, what's going on here? And then all of a sudden like they multiply and your whole army just gets steamrolled.
Yep. It was a lot of fun. And like I said, here's my problem. And there have been games where I've just gone AI because I'm like, fuck it. I'm not enjoying it. I know I can't possibly win. I'm going to leave. It happens. And I don't criticize anybody who does that. For me, the reason why I march out when I know that I have no hope is because that's a lot more interesting to me than sitting in the fort going end turn, end turn,
oh,
end
yeah.
turn. Kill me already.
Yeah.
I was in Discord like,
you're not
you're not worth you're not worth it.
Exactly. Well, I was in Discord like openly goading Althea to come attack my capital, and she's just like, why would I do that? I'm busy. I'm fighting other wars. Like you're not going anywhere. So I was like, fuck it, yes I am. I'm coming to you.
I remember when I used to live in the countryside and my aunt had a farm and we had this cat with a shrew. And like, have you ever seen a shrew before? They're really cute animals. And this cat was just playing with it. And I mean, it was not looking good for the shrew. And that's what I feel like somehow. Sometimes I feel like I'm that shrew and I don't want to be that shrew. It's the worst feeling in the world. And I'm like, hey, kitty cat, what you doing? The cat looked up and the shrew just ditched and got right underneath a wood pile. And I got the biggest look of murder ever. So I want to tell you that so we have like a happy ending to the story. Because it was a happy ending. The shrew got away. But, for me, going AI, that's the shrew getting away. You're going to play with me. No. I'm leaving. I'm not gonna, deny, screw over everybody else. I'm gonna have my moment of glory, but screw that. I'm not gonna get played with. But at the same time, I have a lot of respect for the guys that can play the shrew, that can stay inside that fort to the last second and take that pound of flesh. And I think that I respect it more because I don't think it's not a skill that I have. I don't have the patience for it.
That's fair.
So let's go into the throne situation right now. We just had a ping by Scalaria here. He has gotten his second throne, and he is in position to take these two thrones. Satis on the same end has got this throne here. He's got where's your other throne, dude? Don't you have two?
Nope, I have one.
Okay, so you have this one, but you're in position
I'm
to take
going
this
to go
one.
there.
He's got a position to take this one here, and Scalaria's here. Airmore can take this one. He can contest this one. Does he have another throne? Oh yeah, he has this one up here. And so we have 3 players that are in contention to win this game, and it's coming to a close. GC, who do you think's going to win?
Don't ask me that.
You're the only one that doesn't know.
Okay, so from looking at the map, it's so hard to tell Ermor and Celeria apart sometimes when you don't have great bit rates. Honestly, I would have to say that Solaria is actually in a pretty strong position. Because it looks just from trying to find the Eagles, basically, which is the distinction. It looks like Solaria is in a pretty decent medium position, and they might be able to just roll in on Ermor and dumpster them, because Solaria is really, really good at taking on Ermor.
Okay, I'm going to do the same thing I did yesterday, which is roll the after action. So I'm going to end this episode here, and then I'm going to push record again, and then we're going to tell you whether you're right or wrong, and
Okay.
we're going to get some of the after action going here. But I'm going to end the episode here, and I want to thank my co-host for today. Thank you so much for joining us again, General Confusion.
Of course.
Grippa, thanks for joining us and giving us the statistic perspective.
Absolutely.
Mandar, thanks again for being my good-looking co-host.
Thank you for having me.
RCK, thanks for joining us as the Scalarian perspective.
I'm glad I could join.
Okay, guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.